Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome back to Falcon Blues TV. It's your boy Sachin. I know it's been a minute. I've been really busy with school and treating patients and whatnot, but the Blues have been busy as well. What can I say? 1-0 clean sheet victory against West Brom, 1-0 clean sheet victory against Southampton, and obviously the 2-0 win against the Shite. We won't speak about the matches before then, City Fulham. Even though the two matches before then, Spurs and United were great matches, but this is going to be kind of a mix between a match reaction review and kind of an overall season thoughts compilation, if that makes any sense. Because, I mean, we beat West Brom 1-0 yesterday, and any other manager, I know it's been a while and I may sound like a broken record, but any other manager, we don't get a result. We don't get the result against Southampton as well because we played pretty bad, pretty poorly yesterday and against Southampton, in my opinion. Um, we can definitely play better, but for whatever reason, we play still kind of to the level of the opposition. And I don't know who that Dean fellow is with the blue hair, but he's got to be a January signing for Big Sam because that guy he's pretty good. He should have had a goal too if his toenail wasn't offside. But you have to look at the West Brom team, and we knew they were gonna cause us problems. We knew what they were gonna do. I mean, we had when I went to see us play live. Big Sam was our manager, so his tactics are the same no matter where he goes. And his little rat Sammy Lee, can't stand him. You know what they're gonna set their team up: blocks of four, compact, try to nick one, no creativity. Even though credit to them, kind of bossed us in that first half. First half was pretty shite. I mean, that Deanne had. I mean that match is a match where you need Mina because Mina's our strongest player, and that Deanne wouldn't be nearly as comfortable if he had Mina contending with him, even though Godfrey's still a unit, he just doesn't have the strength to compete with him. But other than that, DN, I mean, West Brom are pretty dreadful, and that Bartlett's a solid center back for them. But other than that, they're shite. But you know what? We were kind of shite too, and it took Gylfi Sigurdsson of all people, who credit to him, he's done brilliant the last couple months. Provided some key assists. Pulled out a goal, and I was pissed because Luka Dean's on my fantasy team, and he wasn't getting the job done. But I mean, give credit where credit's due, and our talisman, who we knew would come good because he's just too talented not to, Richie, good header, brave header, because he almost got smoked by the keeper. But overall, that kind of the thoughts are that midfield didn't work. The 4-4-2 out of possession, 3-4-3 kind of in possession. I didn't understand it because West Brom are physical. You know how Big Sam's gonna set his team up. It's gonna be to win the second balls, to do the dirty work, and you have Bernard in there. And I kind of thought it would be another 4-4-2 diamond with Bernard as that number 10, being a creative influence, but it really wasn't. He was kind of on the left, and then you had a Wobie on the right with Gomez and Doucouré in the middle, and it was just not. It was dreadful. You're limiting Doucouré's best abilities by having him be a holding player. And it's no surprise that we looked a completely different side when Alan got subbed on. It's not a surprise. And I think it shows. I think we have to give credit to Davo as well because he's stepped it up. I mean, I still think Alan is better than him, but Alan's been the best number 6 in Serie A for how many years now, before he came to us. So asking Davo, who is a quality player, to fill the shoes of Alan is going to always be a tough task. But Davo has done well, and Alan came back and really hasn't missed a beat. I was a little worried, ease him in, because he's vital against these teams. Not even the teams, we have Chelsea, but then we play teams that we should be beating, and he's vital against those teams because he can single-handedly play that Ghana role. I mean, we haven't had someone like him since Ghana, and he's don't want to say better than Ghana because Ghana was my favorite player. But he's definitely just as good. I mean, Ghana's performances after the January window when he didn't get sold, and then he stepped it up. His passing was magnificent. We all know what he's gonna do defensively, but Alan is just like that. I mean, his progressive passing is very solid. He drives the ball forward. more importantly, he just mops up. I mean, even if he doesn't go make the tackle, you just see him sprinting, putting pressure on the ball, forcing a pass. Then he gets right back into position to do it again. And it's things like that which don't show up on the stat sheet, but it buys that bit of time for you to get into shape, for Andre Gomez to get his slow ass back in the back there, and get goal side, instead of having him chase. Because that match yesterday, I was telling you, the first 10 minutes were dreadful. It's like it had the makings of Andre Gomez picking up a yellow where he doesn't need to just by sticking a leg out, and then he's gonna be completely nullified the rest of the match. And credit to him, he didn't. But that's what it had. That's what the makings of the match were, and we got the result. But it should be better. But I'm not going to be too critical though, because like I said earlier on, we'd be losing those matches last year, or the year before, or you can go back how many ever years, as long as I've started watching, since with the exception of 2013 when we finished fifth. But it's it's a change. It's a definite change. And I mean, you can say maybe we got lucky in the 94th minute with Dion being marginally offside, but I just saw the Josh Maja just allow goal for his handball when his, you know, it's it's kind of ruining the game. But I mean, those are the laws, and the laws need to be changed, because I mean it's the right decision, but it is ruining the match. And I'm not going to complain too much because we got the 3 points, and we all know we've been on the short end of the VAR decisions and the offside decisions, namely Gilfie sitting on the ground last year against United is the one that really stings. But you need a bit of luck. And now, we went fourth, and then Liverpool got bossed, so Chelsea, go ahead of us, and now it's a crucial match. I think this next match kind of sets the tone for where we're going to finish in the league, because if you get a draw, I don't think we can get the win against Chelsea at the Bridge, even with our home form. They're too good. They're too good. I watched that match, Conte and Jorginho in midfield. Now that's a two-man midfield. Whatever we try to do with Doucouré and Gomez, no. Watch Conte and Jorginho, because they do the job of three midfielders, just those two quality players. But we're going to have to worry about them, and that's going to be a tough task, and you're going to need Richie and Dom. That was something else. So there was a time, I know I'm kind of spewing, but Richie and Dom had a great press on the center backs. And the ball was played out wide, not through the lines, but just breaking the initial pressure. And then we had our two blocks of four literally at the midway line. And if I'm Dom or Richie, who are two excellent pressers of the ball, especially together, they are very good at leading the line. And you see, Gomez, the Crab Gomez, Doucouré, Bernard, and Iwobi, 25 yards behind you, you're going to get pissed. That's nonsense. It's like, this is West Brom. We should be taking the fight to them. And we play to the level of the opposition. We've done that this year. Look at the Fulham match. We were shite. But it's little things like that where I think you can see the improvement. And whether it's, the injuries, like Iwobi came to the side, and he seems to get worse the less he plays. And Bernard, which I just didn't think he could deal with the physicality of the West Brom players, or whatever it may be, or the midfield was lacking. It's little things like that. And credit to Carlo, he changed it. Brought Elan on 60 minutes, brought Gilfie on like 6 minutes later. He understood. I think his plan all along was he knew it was going to be a tough place to play, because West Brom have, stepped it up last month. They were shipping goals and getting twatted left and right. Now Big Sam's got them contending, even if the points aren't there. So I think Carlo wasn't too naive in that sense. He gave him a bit of respect, but I just didn't think he. I don't know. We don't know what's going on with Devo, where he's been, or Colmez or James, and you don't want to risk a land after playing 90 minutes on 3 days rest against the Albion when you have Chelsea coming up. So I understand that, but I just didn't think that 4-4-2 or 3-4-3 in possession really was the best option. It worked, but I think that's Carlo just saying, hey, we're gonna try things out. We need to squad rotate. The players know what's asked of them. It's up to them to go and perform. But overall, the season, Falcon Blues, Dave was probably the one who tweeted it, said, I'm not used to being so stressed out in March. Usually the season's over for us in January, and those are my thoughts exactly. Normally, I told my buddy, before the Man U match, it was like, we're going to get bossed. This is shite. We're shite. Same old Everton. And then we go 2-0 down. I'm validated, and then credit to them. James, Doucouré, we get a draw, we fight back, and that's how to change our season. And I think that is all down to the manager. It's the manager not panicking. He's won everything that there is to win. He exudes confidence. And when your manager exudes confidence and you work on this every day, it does matter, and it starts to show. It's showing right now. You look at all these players. Pickford, that save he made a minute two in Deanne. And the thing is with Pickford is now he's been dropped. This rotation, I was slagging off Carlo by saying, what is he doing? Bernard, Awobi. But the rotation's helping. It's making these players better. Gylfi. Him and Pickford have been the two undroppables, you can say, since both of them came into the team. They've always been starting because of their price tag, who else are you going to play, whatever reason. But he's dropped both of them. And they've both responded. He's thrown the gauntlet down to every one of these players. And with the exception of Fabi and Delph, they've responded. So, because it's the same players. So you have to give credit to the manager. And I'll be critical of things I disagree with, of the tactical missteps. But you know what? He gets it wrong, or right, way more than he gets it wrong, which is in stark comparison to our previous regimes. You look at Koeman, you look at Unzort, you look at, whoever you want to look at. Back, the last person we had that had a plan from the goalie to the number 9 was Moyes. I mean, it may not have been the prettiest footy, but we got results. And now we're not only getting results, but we do play some nice football at times. When we do get the width and we get our skilled players involved, or quality players, it is something, it's a joy to watch. It's just, it's happening a little, it's not happening often enough, in my opinion. We should have been dictating the possession yesterday. We should have been dictating the play, and we didn't until that second half, really. And then when West Brom had to push, we kind of retreated into a shell and got lucky. But it's the 1-0 victory is a manager's wet dream. I love a 1-0 victory, but we all support the Blues. 1-0 we know is not enough. We need 2-0. And we should be getting those. I mean, Dom had a chance right before halftime. He's got to be scoring. He's out of form, he's dreadfully out of form, but thankfully we have Richarlison. Richarlison could have very well scored on that deflection that went narrowly over the bar, And these are half chances, but they're half chances that the top teams take. Like, you look at City against Wolves, 1-1 the whole match, and all of a sudden it's 2-1 and it finishes 4-1. And obviously everybody wants to play like City and be like City. But it's that mentality where even though it's 1-1 in the 80th minute, it finishes 4-1 and 10 minutes later. It's that belief that no matter what the scoreline may be, it's that belief that you will get the result and you will get the points. And slowly but surely, I think that belief is changing for us. It's going to take a while. We're going to need, I think, Europe to attract a few more, top players, right wing. Maybe a goalie, I don't know. Getting back to Pickford, he doesn't celebrate after he makes a top save anymore, a decent save. He doesn't do that nonsense. He puts his head down and he goes right back. And I would say his mentality has taken the next step. He's turned the corner, and it was never his ability that's let him down. It never has, in my opinion. It's always been that mentality. Like the Newcastle match a few years ago when he was riling up the Geordies and then we lose. It's just like, you don't need to do that. Make that top save a minute to keep your head down, keep that clean sheet, then celebrate with our fans at the end. That's so much sweeter than trying to take the piss. And it was immaturity. And now I think Carlo, with Olsen, who's not the answer, sorry, but he is not the answer, has shown Pickford that now is the time for it to perform, or in the summer, we will get that number 1 to really push you. And credit to Pickford. His distribution has been very good. His shot stopping has been excellent, and he single-handedly won us some matches. Southampton was brilliant against the shite. He was excellent. And now here we are, sitting 5th, 1 point off Chelsea, and it's March 5th. I mean, Chelsea, anything can happen. Then we play Burnley, obviously need to be 3 points, and then it's City in the Cup. And if we beat City in the Cup, hoo-wee, get the ale out, fellas, because if we beat City in the Cup, anything is possible. Anything is possible, but till then, we got Chelsea in a few days. Drop a thumbs up, like, comment if you've missed me, or if I'm still chatting shite, let me know. But yeah, up the fucking toffees, Colin and Sean.